Hey everyone, this is Paul Barnett and Colin Harding from Network Depot. Today we're going to take a look through Windows 8. I've installed it actually on my Mac with Parallels, so it's running through Parallels. You're going to have to excuse us, we bump into some problems. I think I've got everything ironed out with Parallels. This is Colin's first time looking at Windows 8, correct?
Yeah, first time. It's different.
So I've messed with it a little bit. Haven't done a whole lot with it yet, but just enough to get myself slightly familiarized for this video. But we're at the login screen. You're used to the old Control Alt Delete Alt login screen that you see in Windows. So we're going to go ahead and log in here. Let me get over here, and you can see here it pops up your username and whatnot. It's fairly similar to what you're used to before. I know that Microsoft said that they're going to have options for having a picture password unlock. I'm not really sure how that works, but where you can touch points on a picture that will allow you to unlock the screen.
That's that's pretty nice. Very Mission Impossible.
Yeah, we'll see how it works in practicality.
Mm.
So you can see the cool little wheel now. It looks like a roller coaster spinning around. But the first thing that will hit you with Windows 8 is how much the user interface has changed. It is a complete departure from what you're used to seeing, and Microsoft has decided to take a new approach to everything in this tablet-friendly world that we live in now. And we'll see how it translates to the desktop. So far, I've been, I'm fairly impressed with it. It seems to run smooth. But you'll notice here, this is the main screen you come to when you first log into. This is this new start screen. So what are your impressions so far?
Well, certainly a departure from the desktop I'm used to. It looks a lot more user friendly. Very very colorful and engaging. Um,
Yeah, you can clearly see right out of the box that it's designed for touch devices and
some of the
touch pads.
some of the new touchscreen desktop computers as well will probably be taking advantage of
Yeah,
this.
correct. And I know Microsoft has also, and Apple has already done this somewhat, but for having an actual touchpad on your desktop instead of a mouse, that there will be motion capability where you can touch the screen, and there's certain gestures and stuff. Mac already does that somewhat, but I'm not really sure how that works. We haven't set that up and configured it. But you'll notice here right off the bat, you have your applications, which Microsoft now calls everything an app, which is the popular term for a program now. I don't know when that changed, but you can see that now Microsoft has a built-in mail client. That will work with Exchange. I tried to get it configured earlier. I couldn't get it working right, but I haven't had time to really play with it yet. Internet Explorer. There's an App Store now. We can take a look here real quick. So Microsoft's going down the route where it's taking tighter control of what applications are going to be released for its system. Very similar to what Apple had done in the past, and this had prevented problems and whatnot. But this is going to be a big departure for Microsoft. And right now, there's nothing paid in there. It's all freebie stuff, but soon to be paid applications. And this is all side-scrolling. For anyone that's used the Xbox 360, it's very similar, don't you think, Colin?
Yeah, no, it's looks like they took that template and ran with it.
Everything's bright and colorful.
Yeah.
And so you can see now, those of us that are used to the big X up in the top hand corner and reduce and minimize things, that is gone.
So how do we get back?
Now that with the new Windows 8, you go up into the top right hand corner and it brings up this little menu on the side. I don't know, I think they call these charms or something affectionate like that. I'm not really sure what that is, but it's so to get back to the start menu, you go back here. The mail client, I can open it up. It's probably going to not work. I couldn't get it to work earlier, but that's more likely me than it is this. But you can see there's a native mail client built in. And there's also, if we go back over here, Used to be before where you'd right click on applications for settings or there'd be a menu bar. It is now, if I can get it to come up, come on, my friend.
Maybe waiting for the mail to load.
Yeah, I don't know what the deal is here, but you should be able to go into the corners, go back to the start menu.
So it looks like it'll still have keyboard functionality as well with the Windows keyboard.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that doesn't change. The calendar. You also notice that everything's full screen now. There's no more at the bottom. There's no more taskbar. Everything is full screen now. And I don't know why I can't get the. It should pull
you
up.
have to go in the upper right hand corner.
Yeah, it's probably my parallels that doesn't like it. But anyway, we'll go back down here to the start menu. And photos, people. This is kind of neat too. Microsoft has come into the next century and now has Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Google. All this stuff is built in natively into Windows, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
I haven't set anything up yet. Didn't want to share my Facebook with everybody, but it's kind of neat that they are going down that route now. Let's get back to the start menu here.
So how easy is it to change out the default buttons there?
You can drag them and flop them around. You can actually right click on it. Right click still works kind of. You can uninstall. You can make them smaller. You can change the size of them. Unpin from the start button. To turn the tile off, so it's still in the system, but it's deactivated from the system.
Gotcha.
But it is still there. There's a bit of, which is kind of cool for those of us that are gamers. I am, and I think Colin has an Xbox 360 too. But
gathering dust.
Yeah, well, there'll be the 720 here soon. But Xbox, you can see that Live is built in.
That's neat.
Is built into Windows 8, which is really cool. And they have the Smart Glass feature now where you can actually launch Xbox applications from Windows 8. Obviously, it doesn't work here. We haven't set any of that up. But
that's interesting. So you can download something on Xbox, play it on your computer, and vice versa?
I'm not really sure how it works yet. I haven't messed with it. But you can see which, if I was signed into my profile, you can see what friends are on. And I believe the way, I could be completely wrong about this, so excuse me if I am. But I believe if you click on an application that you have in your Xbox, that it will launch it on the Xbox through the Smart Glass feature. You can see here there's a Play on Xbox 360, Explore game. I haven't done that yet. I'm not really sure what that does.
Just gives you some extra info, looks like.
Yeah, so that's kind of cool. Very useless for anybody in business, but for those of us that are geeks and love the toys.
It looks like the interconnectedness of Windows 8 is going to go beyond just games, though.
Right, and this is the concept behind Windows 8, that it's supposed to be a multi-platform system. Microsoft is moving towards a unified platform now where everything will be integrated. Windows 8 Mobile, the new, for those of you that haven't seen it, the new Surface tablet will all be running similar operating systems, and they're all built to integrate with each other. So let's get back down here to the start menu. The mail, people, we looked at that. Calendar, Internet Explorer is completely different as well. You can see here it's full screen and the search bar is at the bottom. Not really sure what the purpose of that was, but it seems to make for a cleaner viewing screen, or at least, I don't know, yet to be determined. There's the bar. It's showing up now. But another thing I wanted to show you too is settings. It used to be you would go to a menu to go to settings, and now it's just in here for the application. Right. When you pull up the menu bar here over on the side, settings are over here at power. If you want to power off your machine, we don't want to do that right now. Keyboard, I'm not really sure what that does. You can see where we're connected to the network, the volume. Brightness, which is unavailable on my Mac, but you can adjust brightness if you're in a Windows native machine.
I suppose this would be akin to the control panel on older versions of Windows change PC.
This is more like the settings menu inside of a program. So you can actually go to change PC settings, which is more what you're talking about here.
Yes.
And you can see personalize where you used to be able to, you can personalize your home screen, your start screen. I was just playing around, make it whatever you want, change the colors, the theme. Ooh, that one's offensive.
So far, I'm pretty impressed. Generally, when new versions of Windows come out, I find myself scrambling to find where I used to be able to do things in previous versions, such as getting to the control panel, making such changes. It's pretty easy to find.
Yeah, they've really simplified the interface. I'm sure one of the complaints about the previous versions of Windows were the difficulty in finding things, and Microsoft has tried to simplify that, and I'm sure just getting used to it, taking the training wheels off for people, it's going to be a little difficult at first. It's going to be a little bit of a learning curve, but once people get adjusted to it, I think you'll find it easier to navigate. At least I do.
And I think you said you can go back to the older style if you choose.
Well, they do have a desktop. I mean, it feels kind of slammed onto me. I'll show you that real quick. Yeah, you can see there's the Windows desktop here. I'm having issues with my parallels. This is nothing wrong with Windows 8. But let me close this stuff out. This is the traditional desktop, so if you still want to run applications in the traditional desktop, you can do that. It just feels, and maybe I'm wrong, but it just feels like to me that they're trying to accommodate people who don't want to change it. I don't know what you think about it, but it bothers me a little bit. I almost feel like they would have been better off just forcing everyone to go in a new direction and making it look that way. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm a geek, but I think this is a bit, while the operating system was very brave, I think this was a bit of cowardice on their part to appease people who are used to the old way of doing things.
Yeah, I can see some people not being quite ready to make such a drastic aesthetic change.
But you'll notice there's something blatantly missing from here, and that is the
start button.
Yeah, not there anymore. Once again, it's here. You can also, if you hover up in the corner, if I can get it to work on my Parallels machine, which I don't know what the deal is, but it should take us back there. Anyway, moving on, you can see weather, NBC News, all that good junk, video. I guess this is sort of a replacement for the
Windows Media Player.
Yeah, Windows Media Player. Camera. You can see over here, these are some of my installed programs that were on the system. Mm-hmm. I did a upgrade for those of you with Parallels running on Mac. I found out afterwards that they don't recommend doing an upgrade, but it seems to be working on mine. I'll probably blow it away and do a fresh install. But you can take a look at the music, reminiscent of a Zune player, which I'm sure Microsoft doesn't want you, but it looks very similar to what you see, Xbox Music. It is the same as what you see on Xbox. So you can see the tie-in with the Xbox here. Microsoft is really trying to integrate the Xbox into this, and I know it's part of their plan to make Xbox a unified platform in the home for multimedia. They want it to be more than just a gaming machine, your way of accessing it, media on the internet, video, music, and all of this is going to integrate with the Surface tablet, with the Xbox, with the Windows mobile phone, if you know anybody that has one of those, but I don't. It is kind of neat, but maybe this will help Microsoft make some inroads in that area. Devices, you'll notice here on the menu on the side, they have devices. I don't have anything connected, but if you do get the Windows Surface tablet or Xbox, your other devices that are connected with it will show up here. So right now there's nothing to display because I don't have any other devices, but that will eventually be there. Another thing I wanted to show you, Colin, if you look here, people are used to the old way of finding programs
Mhm.
rather than being here on the new start screen. You can go to search, and you can go to
Applications.
search applications.
Files.
So yeah, apps. So you can go here, and all your programs are here.
All right, so this is how you're going to be able to customize that start screen.
Yeah. So if you wanted to add, so for example, if I wanted to add CCleaner to my home screen, I can't remember if I did or not. You can pin it to the start button or pin to the taskbar. Do all that good stuff. Let's see here. Let me run as administrator. Open new window. Pin to start. So let's see if that puts it. It should, in theory, put it back here. And
There it
yes,
is.
there it is. And you can customize these and do all that stuff. Move them around, like I said. You can unpin once you're back in here. If you right-click on it, move it around.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with these. Make it smaller, make it larger. Do whatever I want. Drag these around. Do all that stuff.
I do have to say, I generally am the type of person who's a little bit stodgy and not prone to being very open to change when new operating systems come out. But I do appreciate how intuitive this seems and how everything is easier to reach right here on the start screen. You can set it up with exactly the programs you like to use, and you can reach everything you want in fewer clicks.
Yeah, it is. I noticed that too. I have to admit, I was a bit of a skeptic seeing the early videos and impressions that people had of it, but it is pretty slick, and it's a brave new direction for Microsoft, and we'll see if it works out for them. But it is a huge departure from the old Windows, and for that fact, from what Apple was doing. Apple, the OS X systems really are more of a desktop-based
Mm-hmm.
operating system, and this is a huge departure from the desktop-based operating system. It is something radically new. Now we'll see if people embrace it. But another thing I've noticed is how snappy everything runs.
Mm-hmm.
You'll notice things load up quick. There's no delay. We'll pull Bing up, but I mean everything is very snappy, very slick. It just seems like it runs smooth. Now I haven't dug that deep into it, but that was a complaint with older Microsoft operating systems, that things kind of got bogged down. But it seems to be very, 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 very snappy, which I've found to be a bit impressive. Being used to the old operating systems. So this is a preview of Windows 8. I know this is not an in-depth in-depth review of it, but here soon we're going to put how-to videos up for those of you that want to learn more about how to do specific functions in Windows 8. But this is just our general first impressions, and hopefully this was helpful. And Colin, what do you think so far?
I think so far so good. I'm pleasantly surprised, and perhaps Microsoft has broken their curse of every other operating system not being so hot.
Well, time will tell. I know they've taken a completely new approach to development. This is something radically new for them, but we will see how it's adopted in the marketplace, and time will truly be the test of it. Thanks for listening to us today.